What's up, everybody? Welcome to Buzzworthy TV. And I'm your girl, Lady T. And today we're going to talk about the Toni Braxton biopic. Y'all, this movie was so cute. I'm not going to say it was like, oh my God, like awesome, but it was so cute. It's basically like how I felt about the Whitney Houston movie. Could have been better? Yes. But was it overall good? Absolutely. Okay, so let's get into the movie. First of all, the movie starts off actually when LA and Babyface, hear the Braxton sisters sing or whatever, and they're captivated by Toni's voice, and, she's over there playing the piano. They're like, yeah, that's her. She's the one with the star quality. So, of course, they let her know, like, hey, your sisters are great. We love y'all, but you're the one that we want. And, of course, she tells her parents, and, Mama E, who was played by Debbie Morgan, was like, the devil is raging. So, but at the end of the day, Tracy speaks up and was like, if she doesn't take this opportunity, we don't never know when this opportunity come back again. So, of course, she goes to LA. She goes to Atlanta and begins working on her first album with L.A. Reid and Babyface, and she signs with LaFace Records. And, from there, it shows her, getting her first Grammy for her first album. She gets $1 million, and she gets her titties done. Like, everything is good at first. And then, when she gets ready for her second album, this is when things start to go left. She meets Carrie. They on tour with Kenny G. And Carrie, who was with Mid Condition at the time, is like, hey, our band didn't get paid yet. And, of course, that's when she goes and checks on the money. And they're like, well, you got to scale down your tour because we don't got the budget for all this. And you're going to have to take out a loan. And she's like, well, go ahead and take out a loan because I got a big royalty check coming up. And it'll fix it. Because to find out her royalty check was $1,900. And I'm just like, wow. At this particular point, she sold $10 million for her first album, $15 million of her second album. So basically, she's at 25 million copies at this point. And after they collected all their money from all her expenses, she only had $1,900. So that's when they said she had to collect bankruptcy, file bankruptcy or whatever. And while she's filing bankruptcy, she gets with a lawyer, and she initially wins the case. She wins $25 million, but she has to sign a gag order that's saying that she won't talk about it for 10 years. Even though she basically changed the game of how people get their money or whatever. And it was really thanks to Babyface, because they asked Babyface, they were like, well, you are also an artist, and as an artist, would you have signed the deal that Toni was given? And he was like, no, I would have. So with that testimony, like I said, I believe it helped. And she was able to get her $25 million. And she signed a gag order because she had bills, and she was basically the breadwinner of the family. And, amongst all this, she's trying to help her family out, not only financially, but she's trying to get them on. She got them on tour with her. They be in her videos. She even got them a record deal, even though their album flopped. So she's trying to juggle all this. She got this, flourishing relationship with Carrie, and they get together. They have, they show them having the 2 kids. And, everything is going good. They get to the part where she's now in Vegas. She's selling out Vegas every night, and she's getting sick. And that's when she's diagnosed with lupus. And they're saying, well, you're going to have to cancel your shows because, you need to rest. This, lupus is affecting your organs, particularly your heart. And she initially doesn't listen to the doctor. She keeps on going. And in the midst of all this, while she's trying to keep up everything going on with her Vegas shows, she finds out that Diesel has autism. I think it's Diesel. Yeah, Diesel is diagnosed with autism. And so she's trying to deal with that, and her health continues to decline to the point where she does have to cancel her run in Vegas. So she has to, of course, file bankruptcy again because she wasn't insured by her sponsors. So when she had to cancel all them shows, they wanted their money back. So she had to, file bankruptcy again. And by this time, it's causing strain on her relationship with Carrie. So they decide to separate because she's sick, they in debt. And you know what they say, money will tear marriages, relationships, everything apart. Money is definitely the root of all evil. And, she drowned in debt. And he's like, I'm doing the best I can, but I'm trying to be here for our boys. I'm trying to be here for you. And, it's only so much I can do. But here's my thing with that. My thing with that is, Carrie, I understand you going through a lot. But like she said, it's her name out there. And that you as her husband should have been like, okay, I'm going to do whatever I got to do. I'm going to hire us a babysitter. Shoot, as many sisters as she got, as much as she's done for them, I'm pretty sure. Matter of fact, Tamar was helping y'all with the kids. Because I remember a couple of specials that Toni Braxton had did. And Tamar was always there helping her with the kids and everything. So, y'all had family support. Mama E, all of them. So, y'all could have had somebody helping y'all with the kids, and you could have went out to work. Whether you had to tour, do some studio sessions, anything, any little thing would have helped. They say every little bit helps. Especially when somebody is drowned in debt, and they're too sick to even get up and, pay for the debt. Like, there was no way that she could make this money to pay off these debts. So anyway, they separate. And then after that, they move on to where Tamar tells her that, hey, we want to do a reality show. And at first, of course, she doesn't want to do it. And Tamar, they was like, well, you can help us out. We just need your name and blah, blah, blah. Because, and that's true. I get it. Reality shows are made successful two ways. Either the premise or you have a driving star. Toni was the driving star. Everybody knew who Toni Braxton was. They knew Toni Braxton had sisters, but they didn't know who they were. They didn't know them by name. So I understand when Tamar said she had been shopping the ideal around, but they were only willing to do it if Toni was involved. So she reluctantly does it, and then they show them, how the reality show took off and how she announced that she's going to retire. Okay, so then you have Babyface come to her house and say, that you should retire. You got plenty of people who want to hear you sing, and your fans need you, and blah, blah, blah. So they decide to collaborate on, of course, Love, Marriage, and Divorce. And it ends with her getting her 7th Grammy for Love, Marriage, and Divorce. Really a good movie, y'all. I really enjoyed it. But it was some things that, to me, could have been done a little differently. So I'm going to talk about what I didn't like about the movie first. And then I'll talk about what I liked about the movie. Okay, so the movie was really good, like I said. The only thing, some issues I had were the speed. It seemed like it was just going so fast. And I understand that basically we got 2 hours. Really an hour and a half when you consider the commercials. We got like 30 minutes of commercials in the intro of the movie. So I get it, but it just seemed like everything was just constantly speeding up, and they were leaving out like so much stuff. Like when she was engaged to that football player before she even met Carrie. Let's talk about how, Tawanda, once the Braxton album had flopped and she didn't have them as her background singers for a little while, that Tawanda had got a job, but she only used it to commit track fraud. Like, she got in trouble. Like, I think she even got a felony for fraud, and that's when Tony was like, well, I'm going to hire you to be my personal assistant. So she had to rehire Tawanda because Tawanda had a record now. So she had no choice but to find her a job and pay her out of pocket so she could support her own family. So it's just a lot going on. They didn't talk about, like, one of the issues also was that Tony started to get real rebellious and real reckless. Like, don't forget that she was all kissing on Trey Songz in front of Carrie at the Soul Train Awards. And I get it was a performance, but her husband was right there in the audience. And then 2 days later, they talked about they getting separated. So I think that had something to do with it, along with the financial issues. It was just a lot of stuff that they left out. That I thought they could have touched on. I wanted them to touch on how Tony was sleeping with L.A. Reid. Let's talk about that. How after her and Pebbles were friends, and how Pebbles helped her with her style and everything, when Pebbles and L.A. divorced, Tony went right behind her friend's back and was sleeping with L.A. Reid. And I get it. She was looking for a come up. L.A. had the power. She wanted her sister to get a record deal. So, of course, hey, let's get in it with the man who make all the decisions. So, I just wish, that they would have incorporated some more things, and I get that. The lip syncing was horrible. The girl who played Toni Braxton, she did an all right job acting, but oh my goodness, they needed to give her lessons on lip syncing. She was horrible, which was bad because they actually had the music. They had the rights to the music, and she threw me off with her bad lip syncing, y'all. Okay, now, what I did like about the movie, like I told y'all, the music was everything. They had, oh my goodness, the music was everything. I loved it. I loved the fact that we had Tony's music, and I like the fact that she went in there and re-recorded it and gave us a little twist on some of her biggest hits. And you know what? The music was so good. It was one song in there where her and Carrie was breaking up when she was sitting at the piano when he was leaving. I was like, what is this song? It's called Pulse, and it's on her Pulse album. Y'all, I'm telling you, go find that song. That's such a good song. What else I liked? Even though they skipped around due to the fact that they only had a certain amount of time for the movie, they did stick pretty much to the memoir, because I read the memoir. Like I said, I just didn't like that they skipped a lot, but the stuff that they did talk about, it was pretty much to what she said in the memoir. Let's see. What else did I like? That's pretty much it. The overall acting was pretty good. I think Debbie Morgan did her thing. In some parts, she was overacting, but let me tell you, the little parts where she was overacting, she made up for it when she found out that her husband was cheating on her with somebody from the church. That scene was everything. Like, she was going in. I was like, go off, Mama E. Like, Debbie Morgan played her role, okay? Everybody else did pretty good, too. They had Tamar looking a little self-absorbed and obnoxious. And, I'm a little iffy about that, only because I follow Tamar. And I know that it's more to her than what she puts out there. And don't get it twisted. She gets on my dang old nerves, y'all. Like, sometimes I'll be wanting to tell her to have several seats. But it's so much more to her. Like, she definitely does care about her family. She loves her sisters. You know, she got a good heart. Now, she could put her foot in her mouth a hell of a lot. But I just wish they would have shown more of that side, the more where she was about family and things of that nature, than just like, hey, we want to do this reality show and you can help us. I'm like, it was way more than that. Like, she wanted Tony to do the reality show because she saw Tony struggling. She saw Tony struggling to do shows here and there, even when her body wouldn't allow her to, just to put food on the table. And she was like, yeah, I know that this is invasive with the cameras, but at least you can stay at home and be sick and make this money. You know, it's more than you catching flights here, there, everywhere. And, you know, when you're not up to it, oh, well, they'll be filming us. The focus don't got to be all on you, and you can still make this money. So it was more than just her wanting to, you know, build a brand. Like, it was a method to her madness, and look at it. Even Tony had to give her props. It works. Especially the first couple of seasons. You know, Tony was really sick the first couple of seasons of Box and Family Values. So it really worked out. So anyway, y'all, that's all that I got for the review. Like I said, it was a really cute movie. I'll be back later on for my review from the bottom up, because I did catch that. So I will talk to y'all later. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace and love.